What's going on, guys? How to be back. Now, at this point in time, I've been feverishly waiting for Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow of Valentia. But before that came out, a certain jump to a mobile journey came to fruition in Fire Emblem Heroes. Granted, I was a little worried. Pokemon Go was an annoying fad that had inconsistent fun and disappointing moments, and Mario Run is the worst kind of free-to-play. You get the first world, then pay $15 for the exact same thing to play for the rest of the game. But Heroes is a whole different kind of beast. But we'll get to that shortly. For now, let's take a look at Fire Emblem Heroes. So, Fire Emblem Heroes stars you as the Summoner, an individual transported to the Askren Kingdom who is able to wield the Brida Blick. Sure. You meet up with Royals Alphonse and Sharina and this game's version of Anna, who are in a conflict with the Emblem Empire led by the very odd Veronica. Now, in order to see to your own safety and the Askren Royals, you must fight alongside them by using the Brida Blick to summon Fire Emblem characters from all over the series and contract them to help you out. So, for being a mobile game, something that I've never delved too much into besides, Game Boy and stuff like that, everything I'm going to talk about gets an extra point in my book, since I never would have expected the kind of effort put into this kind of a free-to-play game. The story, for starters, has some predictable writing, but as of the time of writing this video, there are still some interesting story bits being presented, and also they're even going into a second story that they're being presented to basically sequelize the first part of the game. There's also a lot of side stories you get to play through that have a lot of chances for characters not part of their same game to interact with each other. Moving right along, in terms of the gameplay, it's extremely simplistic. The weapon triangle is present like the vast majority of the Fire Emblem games, although in this one, it's represented more as a color triangle system, as melee weapons, magic, and mana-keets are represented by a single color, being either red, green, or blue. Red beating green, green beating blue, and blue beating red. There's also colorless units, which vary in 3 different weapon types: bows, daggers, and staves. Of all those units available, you make up a team of 4 characters out of all these different types, weapons, classes, etc. to send out into battle. There's also different variations on the units themselves. Infantry that move 2 spaces, armored units that usually have higher stats but move 1 space, mounted which can move 3 spaces but can't go through terrain, and flyers that move 2 spaces and can move anywhere. And each unit comes with their own set of skills that they can learn after earning enough points to unlock them. Currently, bows have way more use than any other colorless type. Granted, I have a 5-star Felicia on one of my teams, as she is a really good mage killer, but staves, despite some really interesting units in that category, just haven't retained that kind of attention, as they don't mesh well with the meta of the game, which, granted, I say meta, but really there's so many variations and counters with different colors and weapons and whatever that there are just so many styles to pick from. Which is something kinda upsetting, but also intriguing at the same time. This game is a gacha style game, meaning you use a special type of currency, orbs in this game's case, to summon heroes, all of which are random based on different rarity levels and depending on the summoning pool, called banners in this game's case. You could also have super specific heroes to be able to summon for as a 5-star unit on its own percentage called focus. You earn orbs through a limited amount of in-game stuff, but also through real-world purchases. Now let's start with what this game does well with the system. After starting a summoning session in a banner, you get 5 orbs of a variety of colors representing the classes to pick from. It costs 5 orbs to pick one, but then costs 4 for the next 3, finally ending with just 3 orbs for the 5th, for a grand total of 20 orbs for a full summoning session. And while it is a 3% chance for a 5-star character and another 3 for a focus unit, after picking 5 orbs, regardless of if it was in the same summoning session or not, your chances of summoning either option as well as a 4-star unit raises by 0.25%, taking that off of the chances to summon a 3-star unit and only resetting after getting a 5-star unit. I haven't played many gacha-based games before, but the ones I have played, and even most loot box-based games, ain't got nothing on the way Heroes handles its summoning session. I know to a lot, even myself to an extent, there's still that negative mindset that it's a pay-to-win or to have the most fun kind of aspect. But I think Intelligent Systems have managed to find that perfect balance between fun content for the free-to-play crowd, with plenty of new game modes to earn orbs, and the difficult challenges for those that put money into the game. The bad thing I find with this system is that your percentages don't carry over. Banners don't last forever before switching to a new themed one, and if you have the unfortunate pleasure of racking up a 4 or even a 5% chance to get a 5-star, and the banner ends, you lose the percentage no matter what. That forces me, a player that will put money into the game maybe once a month, to basically put orbs into one banner, get a 5-star, and then hold off from using any more orbs for quite some time, just so I'll have a chance at the next banner that might actually interest me. If maybe Intelligent Systems could tweak the way summon works to make so your percentages could carry over, that would be pretty cool, but I know that would ruin the whole forcing people to put money into their game thing, so I guess I'll have to live with it for now. Despite all that though, you go out of your way and draw for some heroes, picking some up along the way that you like, some that you never knew you'd like, and some that'll make you want to tear your hair out. But one thing I think no one can deny is the amount of effort the artists they hire to put into these drawings of the heroes, and the fact that so many famous voice actors actually went out of their way to lend their voices to the characters. It's not a lot, I know, but for a free game, it speaks volumes for the game, and yes, despite it being a dirty phrase for some, I'll gladly put some money into the game from time to time, even if the game keeps wanting to throw crappy 5-stars at me. And although I wish there was more variations in animations, the chibi style for the characters in-game also look really good, and have decent amount of details paired up with them. And in conclusion, that's pretty much the bulk of the game. I know there's more to talk about, but none I think I need to mention to you. As I said, the game is free to play, so you can always go in and check things out for yourself. I'm sure there's something for every type of Fire Emblem fan out there to enjoy. And honestly, if you had a friend that hasn't even been able to get into the Fire Emblem series for whatever reason, this might be one of the best ways to at least introduce them to how the overall gameplay works. It is stupid simplistic for veterans, but easily forgiving enough for newcomers, with enough variations and strategy for both sides to enjoy it even on the go. But anywho, thanks guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, maybe check out some of my other Fire Emblem reviews, and next time we come back to it, we're going to take a look at the latest game to come out for the 3DS at the time, Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow of Valentia. Until then, I'll see you guys later.